Oh, that's so good.
Good morning, everyone. I have come out today as I would like to make some wild strawberry and elderflower ice cream. Just figured it's the season for ice cream now. Summer's just starting out. I have a really good sort of wild strawberry patch here in the village, and I just figured because you can't guarantee you're going to find enough wild strawberries for this kind of recipe, that I would also pick some elderflower so that we've got a bit of other natural flavour coming through too. So yeah, let's see what we can find, and I thought we'd make it together. Let's get picking. How cute they are. So cute and small. Oh, there's always a ton of mosquitoes around here. Hate it. I brought this huge Tupperware box out with me, which I think might be overkill, but I've got to put the elderflower in this as well. So, but there aren't a ton of wild strawberries, and the reason being is that the farmer who owns this bit of land, because it takes him down to his field to plough the fields, he actually recently cut all of this back, and I was so upset because he basically cut off all of the amazing strawberry heads that were coming through. So yeah, kind of sucks, but can't complain. There's still a few, so we'll just pick what we can, and yeah, we'll go and find some elderflower if we can't find many strawberries. Look at this guy. Oh god, I keep getting bitten alive by mosquitoes here. Don't know why, it's like the worst spot for them in the world. But look at this guy. He is big and he is red. It's just so good. Yay! He's a good one. Magnifique. So we've had quite a bit of rain recently and not so much sun, which is obviously great for mushroom foraging, for instance. But for the lovely strawberries that we're picking today in my little box, we haven't had much sunshine to make them nice and red, so a lot of the strawberries I'm finding today are underripe a little bit, and just as you would with the strawberries that we buy from the supermarkets, you want them to be super red because it means that they're going to be even more flavoursome and tasty. So I'm trying my best to pick strawberries that are as red as possible, but it is becoming a little bit challenging. So, nice little ID tip for you guys. The leaves of a wild strawberry plant have 3 lobes to them and all these little serrated edges. And then they have little white 5-petal flowers, always 5 petals, a little yellow centre with lots of fluffy stamens in the middle. And that yellow centre is what the strawberry grows from. So if we've got some here, you can see these. That's where the centre of the flower used to be. That's what remains and turns red into fruit. Which is a characteristic of the rose family. So the plants that belong in the rose family, they all tend to have sort of serrated edges to the leaves like this. And when the flower dies or progresses into the next phase of its cycle, usually leaves a fruit behind. So blackberries as well are in the rose family, as are obviously wild roses, which leave rose hips, which we tend to enjoy in the winter time and make teas with and stuff. If you find these, you're in for a real treat because they are super flavoursome and delicious. Found some elderflower. It's a bit tall, but it may have to do because the weather is turning and I feel like I'm about to get rained on. So let's try and reach some of these, and of course we will be asking the tree for permission first because elderflowers, trees, can embody witches, or witches can embody them. So we want to make sure we're always asking for permission first. keeps happening to me recently. Every time I go to film a video for you guys, it starts raining, and I know we embrace the weather and it's all part of foraging, but it does make filming really, really hard because this camera's quite expensive and I don't want to get it wet, so just kind of taking refuge under this tree and hoping it passes quickly. It wasn't really meant to rain today, so. But yes, I've spotted an elderflower tree, which is a bit smaller. So we'll definitely be able to pick some of those before making our way back up and picking some more wild strawberries on the way. But we've got a fair few now. I didn't expect to find loads, to be honest, because as I say, it's not really been sunny enough. So a lot of the strawberries I am finding, they are quite underripe, to be honest. But it's better than nothing. So maybe it will be elderflower ice cream with a hint of strawberry, but it's still lovely to get out anyway and pick. Still coming down quite heavy. I feel like I've done quite a bit of content around the elder tree recently, but for anyone new here, I thought I'd explain some of the key identification features so that you can pick some of these delicious flowers yourself. Firstly, elder trees don't grow super huge, so you're looking for a modestly sized tree. If you were to snap off a piece of twig, the inside of the tree has a soft centre. It's not hard all the way through like other trees such as oak. Leaves are pinnate, growing in opposites and have jagged edges to them. The flowers grow in umbrella-like shapes. Tiny little 5 petals to each individual flower within the umbrella. Once you know how to spot an elder, you'll notice them everywhere. Make sure to leave some flowers now so you can enjoy the juicy berries they'll leave come late summer. That is all the elderflower we're going to need. So lots of lovely heads and some wild strawberries underneath. See all of these gorgeous blackberry flowers, brambles. There will be lovely blackberries in a couple of months' time. With some sunshine. Beautiful light pink colour. Right, I think I'm happy with what we've collected. So we've got lots of wild strawberries in here, as many as I could pick really, that were ripe. You see, lots and lots. They don't really grow any bigger than like your fingernail. Like the biggest I picked was maybe this guy. And then I picked lots of elderflower. I'm just going to shake off as many bugs as possible before closing this up. I'm going to do that, and then we're going to get back in the car and get home and make some delicious ice cream together. Come on, buggies. I hope that's enough because I'm making up the measurements for this. Let's go. Ooh. We're back home. All our little bugs have crawled out of the container. And so now we're going to start making the ice cream. And the first step is just to remove all of the little flowers from the elderflower heads, because good fact, elderflower, the like leaves, the branches, the stems here, they contain compounds which basically convert into cyanide when they're digest in your system. Obviously trace amounts aren't going to do anything to you, the same as like an apple pip. Like a pip of an apple also has that same compound which will convert to cyanide inside you. So you've probably eaten an apple pip at some point in your life and it's not done anything to you. The same can be said for elderflower, but that is why we need to remove all the little flower heads, just so that we are not ingesting any cyanide, but also it just makes the taste quite bitter. So we're going to separate these first, and I will just walk you through the different steps to make the ice cream. So a good technique to get the flowers off is using a fork, and then you just kind of move away from the stem and it picks the flowers off quite nicely. It's quite a clever trick, just saves you a bit of time. So we are all done, and now we're left with all these little elderflower heads. Some of the flowers are a little bit brown. I think maybe this is just because I left them a little bit longer today to actually do the recipe, like they've been sat there for a couple of hours. They weren't brown when I picked them. Obviously you want to try and get them as fresh as possible for the best flavour. So we're going to move on to the next step now. So for the next step, we're back in the kitchen and we will be measuring out 300 millilitres of double cream and 100 millilitres of milk. Whole milk I'm using, but I'm sure you could use vegan alternatives. And with the cream and milk, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be warming them up, not to the point of boiling, but just so that they're kind of quite hot. And then we're going to be adding the elderflower and steeping the elderflower in the cream and the milk, so infuse it basically to create that nice floral flavour. Something I realised I forgot to mention earlier was that this is actually like I don't have an ice cream maker basically, so this recipe is like a no-churn ice cream, so it's super, super easy. So yeah, you don't need a big fancy machine. This is going to be a super straightforward recipe. So I've just been looking at the milk and it's definitely hot enough now and not bubbling, so I think we're gonna take this off the heat and add the elderflower. So now we're just going to let this rest and infuse for an hour or two before straining it. While the milk and cream is infusing, we need to weigh out 150 grams of wild strawberries. And somehow I think we didn't quite get 150 grams today because there wasn't enough in the spot where I pick from. So I did actually do a little bit of a cheat. I did get some supermarket ones too, but only to bulk it out if we need to. In an ideal world, you would forage all of this, but foraging is temperamental, as we all know, and you can't always guarantee that you're going to find what you need. So let's measure these now, and we're going to blitz them up into sort of a nice puree with a bit of lemon juice and lemon zest, which helps sort of enhance the flavour and gives it a bit more sort of zinginess. And then the idea is that we kind of create like a raspberry ripple effect through the elderflower cream that we've just made. Guys, we only had 20 grams of wild strawberries. So just know that if you're going to make this recipe, you need a big patch, otherwise it's very hard. And I thought I did have a big patch, but yeah, not enough of these little guys. So we're going to top this up now with our shop bought ones. Look at that beautiful colour. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. It smells amazing. Look at that. Beautiful. Looks quite runny to me, but maybe a bit too runny. I think we're gonna just trust the recipe. So we're just going to pop this mixture in the fridge until we need it later on. So it's been about an hour, so I'm going to remove the cloth from our elderflower-infused cream milk. Smells a bit custardy. So we're going to strain this through a fine sieve, get rid of all of the flowers, and then we're going to move on to the next step, which is whisking up 3 egg yolks, a pinch of salt, and 80 grams of caster sugar. So we're going to whisk those up together, and then we'll slowly add this mixture in, combine it all, whisk it all together, and then pop it back onto the stove, heat it up a bit, and then we'll be removing it off the heat again and popping it into the fridge to then pop into the freezer. So we're nearly there basically. And then once we've done those steps, we're going to be folding in that nice strawberry mix that we put together for that raspberry ripple effect. So let's do it. We got this. I've been making a right mess of this. So, oh my goodness, I've got mix everywhere. So I got the step slightly wrong. So when you are making, I think it's actually called a custard, which is crazy because it's like an ice cream. But so when you're whisking up the egg yolks and stuff, you then want to simultaneously heat up the elderflower-infused milk again, and then you're going to add that and keep whisking it into the egg yolk mix. And then once that's whisked, you're then adding them both back to the heat again. I don't know what the science is behind that, why we keep having to add it to the heat, but that's what it says. And we have to be careful not to boil it, and I would imagine that's just because there is egg in it, so we don't want any scrambled eggs in here. So I'm just going to keep stirring this till it heats through, and then I'm going to be adding it to a cold bowl, letting it cool down a bit before adding it to the fridge and then into the freezer overnight. I'm just going to remove it from the heat now because you can see it started to really nicely coat the spoon, so that means that it's ready. That bowl of deliciousness, yes. So something that Google has recommended that we do is lay cling film over the top to prevent a skin from forming, and then we're going to pop it in the fridge. So a bit of time has passed, it's now the evening. The custard that I made and the blitzed up strawberries and lemon have been in the fridge, they've cooled down nicely, and now they're ready to be popped into the freezer. But first we just need to put it into an ice cream tub. So I'm just going to transfer the custard in first, and then we're going to sort of somehow make the strawberries sort of swirl through and hopefully make it look really pretty and aesthetic. I'm not necessarily always the best at making things look aesthetic, so let's give it a go. Probably could have done a smaller container. Oh well. Oh, that does not look very good. A bit prettier. Kind of just looks like someone smeared blood all over it, but you know, it will look good, I think, when it's scooped. Okay guys, it's time to try it. It's already been a little bit melted because I realised I forgot to shut my freezer door properly, so it was nice and soft to scoop, which is good. But let's give it a go. A little bit of ice on the top there, which is normal I think for no-churn ice cream. Oh, that's so good. Oh my god. Oh, I'm so happy with that. So the consistency of like the strawberry swirl that we put throughout is a bit more like, it's harder because obviously there's a higher water content, whereas it's not like cream based. So that's kind of a bit more solid and a bit more like an ice lolly, I suppose, and it was harder to scoop. But the combined with the cream, it's really, really nice. If you are wanting to forage something this summer, find a wild strawberry patch, pick yourself some elderflower and make this delicious wild treat. I'm sure if you can make a much larger quantity than this or a summer barbecue, I'm sure that would shock loads of people if you told them that you picked the ingredients wild. Let me know if you give it a go yourself. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you next time through the Ivy Gate.